Hello, my name's Kevin Wensley. I'm Director of Operations at Offshore Sailing School, and today I'm at South Seas Island Resort on beautiful Captiva Island here in Florida. And today I want to talk a little bit about using a windlass. And a windlass is the winch or equipment at the front of the boat that you're going to be using for lowering and raising the anchor. On every boat it's going to be slightly different, so there's things that we need to investigate before we start using it. The first one is power to the windlass. What actually powers it? So we'll have a look down below and we'll be looking for, first of all, a breaker that will trip if the windlass ever gets overloaded. And we're also looking for an activation switch, which we'll usually find on the main panel. Once we've found those, we can go ahead and test the windlass to see if it works without the engine running, because this is going to be good to know if you need your engine or not to run the windlass. So we'll go forwards and we'll press a button to see if the chain pays out at all when we press it. If it doesn't, then we need to fire up the engine. So let's fire up the engine and see if that makes a difference. If it does, we now know that we need the engine to actually make the windlass go down. Good to know if you ever need your anchor out in a hurry. The next thing we're looking at are the controls up front by the windlass. How do we actually activate it going up and down? We'll either have a remote unit, which you can work by hand, or you're going to have buttons on the deck. On the boat that we're sailing today, it's got buttons on the deck. If you find you have a boat that requires the engine running to activate the windlass, then you need to think about that in terms of, what if I need to deploy my anchor and I can't start my engine? So we need another way of doing that, and many windlasses will come with a brake. If you release the brake, that will allow the chain to run freely and of course deploy your anchor in a hurry. The other thing to remember about where the windlass is, of course, is as it comes back up from the seabed, the anchor and chain is very likely to have a lot of silt and mud on it. If that silt and mud gets into your windlass, it can then affect the performance of your brake. Your brake may seize, leading to problems later down the line when you need to get it out in a hurry. And the very last thing to remember about the windlass is that when it's in operation, it's not a very forgiving piece of machinery. So if you get a toe or a finger or anything else caught up in there whilst it's working, it's going to end very badly. So please keep yourself well clear of the windlass. And that's how to go about using the windlass when we're cruising.